1/19/2025. We are in the Wuzi, one of the ancient military texts, right up there with the art of war, according to some scholars. We're in chapter 1, governing the state, verse 5. Wuzi Ch said there are 5 causes of war: the pursuit of fame, wealth, revenge, rebellion, and famine. There are also 5 types of army: strong, violent, determined, righteous, and treacherous. So the 5 causes of war, whether we're pursuing fame, maybe like Napoleon, wealth, like so many who do start war, maybe oil of a sort, revenge, maybe like after the attacks of 9/11, rebellion, 1776, and famine, just like many of uprisings throughout history. So let's get to the 5 types of army. A strong army refers to the reliance on numbers to subdue the enemy. A violent army is one that understands only money and has no understanding of the ritual, so referring back to greed. And we learned yesterday about the importance of rituals and how it brings honor. A determined army is the sort raised in anger. A righteous army refers to those that quell rebellion. And lastly, a treacherous army is raised by those who take advantage of an unstable situation in the state to encourage the people to revolt. So that's like treacherous, right? Like so treason, treachery, when they take advantage of an unstable situation, right? Dealing with mental health. I have a lot of experience with instability in my mental state, and how people have taken advantage of that in the past. And so these treacherous people, their army versus my army, like their conscience versus my conscience, has really shown me and given me real experience with the Wuzi's, and Wuzi Ch's experience in the art of war, so to speak, of everyday life. So, and a determined army is the sort raised in anger. And so he's taking all of these different types of armies and tying them back to the different reasons why wars begin. Dealing with each type of army requires a different strategy. And so now we're getting to the strategy talk. The righteous army will submit only to reason. The strong army must be appeased. The determined army must be persuaded. The violent army must be tricked. And the treacherous army must be dealt with by force. So this means that we understand the righteous army. Like they're rebelling. You don't rebel unless you have a good reason to rebel. And generally it's the people of the state who do the rebelling. And so if you can reason with them, give them what they want, you will quell that uprising. The strong army needs to be appeased. All right, so they rely on numbers. There's not much left other than we know that we have more than you, so we will win. So what do they want? Why are they coming at you? What's the strategy there? Why are you having so many come to your city? The determined army must be persuaded, and the determined army is raised in anger. And so they get angry. What are they angry about? And so you have to find and strategize to understand that emotion of anger in order to quell that army. And then the violent one must be tricked. A violent army is one that understands only money and has no understanding of the rituals. So they have no honor. They don't care about the rituals. They don't care about what is important and what is to be. They only care about money. And so just like Indiana Jones, when he goes and he grabs and he switches out the, whatever it is he's grabbing in that old movie, you have to trick them. You have to trick that army. And as we know, the treacherous army, as he wraps up with, needs to be dealt with by force. Because if someone's going to take advantage of you, then that's not someone that you need to have in your life. And whether that's somebody or an organization or a person or a family member that's taking advantage of your situation, I'm not saying be violent with them, but you need to forcefully and with meaning and intention remove them from your life. And so that force may be a silent force. It may be a force of not giving in, but taking the determination to remove that person and not make contact ever again.